Yes, hello everyone. Yes, hello everyone. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Yes, very good evening to all of you. Those who haven't downloaded the app, I insist you to please download the app because the special classes are there and you can attend the special classes with help of that. Next important thing, that is my introduction. As those who are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Harshvardhan Singh, and on this platform I'm going to teach you all the aspects of history, including history optional, international relation, economics. Currently, my lecture series on world history and international relation is going on our YouTube channel as well as on our app. Means as I just want to tell you that I'm having 8 year experience as an educator in the field of civil services. So these are our top educators. You can watch the videos. It is available on YouTube as well as an app. Those who haven't subscribed yet, I insist you to take the subscription of Unacademy. We have two options, plus and iconic, and in that we have the option of 1 month, 3 month, 6 month and 12 month. I insist you to take a yearly subscription because within a year you are going to finish your syllabus from the best faculties in India. Yes, and whenever you are going to take subscription, please use my code Harshvi10. This is my code. You will get 10% discount as well as you're going to count as my student. Yes, and why I mentioned the iconic subscription, it is because in iconic subscription we are going to provide each and everything, including the personal feedback, personal guidance. Yes, so all the aspects we are going to cover in the iconic subscription. So please use my code and take the subscription. And yes, this is another important thing, that is UPSC Combat. For details, you can visit our website or you can read from the app. And the prices are also there. Now, in this lecture, we are going to discuss India and Asian relationship. Yes, good evening everyone. No response from your side. Yes, everyone. Oh, yes. Ram Kumar, good evening. Ashwini, yes, good evening, good evening. Rudra, yes, Rudra is there, good evening. Sanjeev Sarkar, yes, Sanjeev Sarkar, good evening to all of you. Audible, visible, clearly, no problem. Okay, so let's start. India and ASEAN. So ASEAN, everybody knows the full form of ASEAN? Yes? Do you know the full form? What is ASEAN? Yes. Yes, Nilesh, good evening. Yes. Do you know the full form of ASEAN? Hmm? Yes, go on. Yes, Nilesh said Association of Southeast Association Southeast Asian Nation. Yes, am I right? Yes, exactly. It is a full form. That is Association for Southeast Asian nation. Yes, exactly. So ASEAN is a group. It is not a country. And almost all of you knew this thing, but those who are new here, I just want to tell you, ASEAN is a group of the country, and the most important aspect of this group is economic aspect. As I said, most important. There are other aspects are also included in that. Why they thought or why there was a need for such a regional grouping was there? Yes, what do you think? Why? What do you think? Why these countries? Yes, everyone. What do you think? Why there was a need of these countries to gather together to form a group? Is there any need or just they want to have annual gatherings, just like in school days, college days? They decided, okay, let's have a gathering every year to have fun, and that's it. What do you think? Ashwini said to promote political and social stability. What do you think? She said that. What's your opinion? We're going to discuss it in detail, don't worry. And this is just a part first of India-Asian relation because this relation is means we have to discuss in detail because ASEAN is India's most important partner in trade. Yes, along with that, India means Asia is ASEAN is the most important part in terms of defense. Clear? Defense it doesn't mean arms dealing and all. Strategically, ASEAN is important part for us. So we are going to discuss the India ASEAN into two parts. The first part today we are going to discuss the all other aspects, and then in second part we are going to discuss the current issues or the key concerns between India and ASEAN relation and India and ASEAN having key concern over some issues. So we are going to discuss that in next part. So first part we are going to discuss the basic thing. Yes. So everyone, what do you think? Why they thought to form a group, form association? Any specific reason or just can I ask you a very basic question other than this? If I ask you the geographical location of this area, in which direction it is there? Geographically, in which direction it is there? The answer is very simple. Southeast Asia. Do you can you see this map and with the help of this map can you find out any significance of their location? Yes everyone, as this is the map, and through this map can you find out any significance of their location? And let's say economic growth, peace and stability. You're telling me the aim. Yes, exactly. Whatever you said, Ashwini said, you said exactly. I'm asking something different. The strategic, don't you think they have a strategic location? Their location, their location is important from the international route point of view, means the trade. Yes. Means their location is there, they are on the busiest trading route. Yes, Farooq, where the most of the international trade passes. Yes, exactly. Now you get it. Now you get it. Their location is so important from trade route point of view. Most of the international trade, the busiest trade is from their area. Clear? And if you go through their geographic, the countries, length and breadth, you will get to know that these countries are having very small territories as compared to India, as compared to China, as compared to USA. Do you really think so that these countries are individually going to fight or compete with USA, China, India, or such a big countries? Yes, Nilesh, we are going to discuss that point, that nine dash line and all. Yes, my whatever I am saying, don't you think so? Or do you really think so that these countries individually can compete with USA or China? Of course not. So they also realizes this thing. These country also realizes this thing, and for that reason they were thinking on other line instead of individually dealing with this mighty power. And do you know it was a period of Cold War when the Asian established. It was a period of Cold War. USA and USSR, the two poles and all. This was a period of madness was going on, and to compete with the superpower, it's not easy. So they were thinking on the different line, and along with that, China is also emerging power. China also have this aggressive approach. So these all factors were going on, and because of that reason, they were thinking on the different line, and this different line is based on political, social, and economic cooperation among Southeast Asian countries. Clear? Because of all these factors which were prevalent at that time, because of that they were thinking on the development or cooperation among themselves. Clear? Is that clear to you? Along with that, along with that, they want to take they want to take advantage of their strategic location. Yes, everyone. That is also important thing. Yes, Farooq, exactly. You uses the ornamental language. You used ornamental language. Yes. So they cannot compete with this major power, but still they want to be a big player. They want to play important role in international relation, and they realizes that without helping each other, it is not possible for them to compete with superpower. And that's why they decided on the different, or they started thinking on the different line, and that leads to Asia, that gave birth to Asia. Yes, everyone. And whatever you said, Ashwini said, Nile said, and others said, it is the same thing. It is for political stability, economic stability, security. These all are the aims of it. They want to promote that. Clear? So, Asian, just look at this map. How many countries are there in Asia? Very simple question. Do you remember this question I asked earlier? How many countries are there in ASEAN? Do you remember this question I asked in this lecture only? How many countries? Some said 7, some said 10, some said 10 plus. Some, so that's why I said, okay, wait. You get the opportunity to exact answer. So if you are having common sense, then you can count how many countries. Yes, exactly. Right now there are 10 countries in Asia. Clear? Now we're going to discuss what is ASEAN, what's the aim of it, and how India and ASEAN relations develop with the time. Yes, exactly. There are 10 countries. Clear? Now, ASEAN. First, we're going to discuss the basic facts related to ASEAN. ASEAN, as we already discussed this word, Association for Southeast Asian Nations. It is established in 1967. As I mentioned, it is a period of Cold War. And also, in this period, China is also emerging as a power. Clear? So 1967 was the period of Cold War, and that's why they decided to to compete with the world power, and that's why they started cooperating with each other. So who were the founding members? There were 5 founding members were there. Who were they? Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, and Singapore. Means basically, if we consider, means some of you may have a confusion if UPSC asks the question in the prelims, and if it is related with the ASEAN. So there are a few points related to ASEAN. In prelims, such type of question can ask in the prelims only. ASEAN, everything is written. Which of the following statements are true? A. They are mentioning established in 1968. B. ASEAN is having 5 members, means the founding members were 5, and namely, and they mentioned Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, kind of. So such type of question, how to deal with that? How to deal with such type of question? A very basic thing. Right now, how many members are there? 10. And how many members share borders with India? Yes, out of 10, how many members share borders with India? If you don't know the number, just tell me name of it. Yes, if you don't remember the number, then you can share the name with me. Yes, boys and girls, fast. One by one, one by one. Hmm. As you said, 10. And I am asking very basic question. Only Myanmar. Myanmar. Is there any other country which share border with India? No. Only Myanmar shares border with India. Along with that, we know that India is signing tripartite agreement. Just I want to let you means wait. So how many countries we mentioned with the earlier part of it? The founding member here is Philippines, then Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. and Thailand. Yes. So this area is known by which name? Yes, everyone. Yes, for tripartite agreement we signed with Myanmar and Thailand, road connectivity with them. So I am asking you this question. This area is known by which name? Do you know the name of this area? The whole area is known as Southeast Asia. Whole area is known as Southeast Asia, but in that particular, I'm asking a question. Do you know the area? Yes, exactly. This area is known as Indochina. This area is known as Indochina. So please tell me how many countries in the area of Indochina were the part of founding member or be considered as a founding member. Yes, in Indochina area, how many countries were the founders of Asia? Hmm. Yes, I'm waiting for your response. In the Indochina region, how many countries were the founding member or members of Asia? Yes, am I audible? Malaysia, where it is located? Here. Here is Malaysia. Here is Singapore. Here is Indonesia. Clear? Here is Philippines. Don't you think so? Only Thailand. Only Thailand. Don't you think so? Only Thailand from Indochina area was the founding member of Asean. Clear? Later on, other countries also joined. Yes, so I am just telling you this thing that whenever the such things are there, as if the question is these are the founding members of ASEAN, and namely suppose the countries are Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore, and all. So such names are given. So please keep this in mind that in Indochina area only Thailand was a country which participated as a founding member of ASEAN. Rest countries joined later, and those who are member basically Southeast Asia. So they are here: Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. Yes, do you get it? Means whatever I want to tell you, whether it is delivered or not. Yes, everyone, whether it is delivered or not, whether you get it, what I want to tell you. Yes, everyone, is that clear? Yes, good, very good. Thank you. Now, the next thing, what's the aim? And this aim you told me, that is aim of ASEAN is basically to promote political and economic cooperation along with regional stability. Yes, this is the exact thing you mentioned. Political, economic cooperation and promotion of regional stability. And you know that regional stability is most important for economic development, and political stability is also important for economic development. Yes, so these countries are mutually agreed with each other to promote political economic cooperation among themselves and as well as promote the regional stability. Clear? So at present there were 10 members of it, and we already mentioned the name of it. The 5 we already mentioned. The rest, as you know it, Laos is one of them. Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, yes, Brunei. So these are the countries are the member of it right now. Next, there are 6 observers of ASEAN, the 6 countries, and I wrote the name of these countries in such a manner so that you can easily remember it without mugging up the thing. How? First, we mentioned the name of 2 countries, Austria, New Zealand. First, we mentioned Austria, New Zealand. And you know the location in Oceania, it is there. You know the location. So from Oceania, 2 countries are there. Then I mentioned the East Asia. This is Oceania. Asia, East Asia. In East Asia, of course, China, then Japan, South Korea, and the last country, of course, India. Get it? So there is no need to mug up the things. If you know there are 6 observers and 2 from Ocean, of course, most important player is Austria and New Zealand there. In East Asia, the most important players are Japan, China, and South Korea. They are economically developed. Yes, and what about rest? That is India only. So do you really think so that you have to remember the name of India in Asian relation? Yes. Do you really think so? You have to remember this thing? No. Good. So this is the basic information. It is a group of 10 countries. Most important aspect is political and economic cooperation and promotion of regional stability. There are 6 observers, 2 from Ocean, 3 from East Asia, and 1 from South Asia, that is India. Clear? Yes? Is that clear? Whatever I mentioned, is that clear? I just mentioned some few tricks how to remember the things. Good? Next. ASEAN is having a rotating presidency so that there should not be dominance of one particular country over the other. Annual summits are there and they are having rotating presidency. Clear? Next, ASEAN is a free trade area since 1993. What is the advantage of it? Yes, as we have written here, what do you think? What is the advantage of it? Yes, you all are students of economics as well, and I'm an inquisitive person, so I ask you the question. ASEAN is having free trade agreement since 1993. Okay, what's the advantage of this free trade area? Yes, everyone, what do you think? What is the advantage of it? No trade barriers, as Farooq said, no trade barriers, whole area is a single market. Okay, go on, go on. Ashwini said trade can be done easily without trade barriers. Hmm. Yes, there are others. Ram Kumar is there. Hmm. Yes, everyone, what do you think? Nilesh, what do you think? What is the advantage of having free trade area for Asia? Import and export of goods without any tariff barriers or non-tariff barriers to the trade. I agree with you. I agree with all of you. But I'm asking, what's the advantage of it? You mentioned the free trade area. Yes, you mentioned what is free trade area. I agree with you. But my question is related to what's the advantage of it for ASEAN? Greater choice of goods mentioned by Nilesh, then Farooq said that industrial depth. Industries dependent on specific raw material can be established in those areas. Don't you think so? Why you're going in so deep? There is no need to go in such detail. Don't you think so? It is going to boost trade and commerce in that area. Don't you think so? When trade barriers is not there, the trade and commerce is on means they promote the trade and commerce in that particular area. Yes, very simple. And if the trade and commerce is going to get lit, don't you think there is a scope for economic prosperity? Yes, very simple words. Whatever you said exactly. But this is a very basic thing. Higher quality of goods at lower rate. Ashwini mentioned yes, and some of you are practically experience this thing. How? Because if you want to purchase, suppose iPhone, so the Indians are doing so that they are going to travel from India to ASEAN. They purchased that phone and again they came back. Still, that phone is cheaper as compared to they are getting it in India, including the freight charges. So the goods are available at the road. It means basically as there is no tariff or minimal tariff is there. So trade and commerce industry is on boom, and Singapore everybody knew about. It is one of the busiest port in the world. So that leads to economic prosperity. Farooq said that yes sir, exactly, we are using those products in our country. And you know that as recently, there is a ban on Chinese product. Yes, the trend was going on hashtag ban on Chinese product and all. And I told you when we discussed the India-China relation at that time, I told you India is dependent in not just India, world is dependent on China for many items. For example, this hardware, whatever we are having communicating with each other, everything is made up of China. So now they follow the different route, and people are so smart. The product is going to travel from China to Singapore, and from Singapore they are going to sell that product to India. Everything is going to change. So this is also going on. If no direct relation is there, if demand is there, supply is going to be there. I told you this thing while discussing economics as well as history. Yes, is that clear? Ironically, most of the hashtags were from China. No comment. I don't want to add hashtag in my name. Next. So now you get it. What is the advantageous thing for ASEAN, the free trade agreement, free trade area since 1993? And this is the period when the decline, means disintegration of USSR was there, and the whole world adopted a new policy, that is LPG. LPG, that is liberalization, privatization, globalization, and it gives flip to Asia countries. It gives added advantage to Asian countries to grow their economy. Now, when we look at these 10 countries, the combined GDP of ASEAN is 2.57 trillion dollar. And yes, I'm not going to ask how many zeros are there in trillion. Yes, Farooq said that the country of origin tag did help in checking the products from China. Yes, of course, it is there. But you know that we are having less resources to check whether the product is there or not. Yes, and what we can say, one more thing. Manual errors are always there, and you know what I mean, manual errors. So please do not take that much tension. Yes, it is there, and India is one of the best example of repackaging things. Yes, we repackage the things, so do not worry. Yes. So the combined GDP of ASEAN is $2.57 trillion. So now you get it how much important this area from Indian point of view. India is having vested interest, economic interest with this area, because just look at the economic size of these countries. Clear? Next, this ASEAN is having three pillars. This ASEAN is rested on three pillars, that is political community, economic community, and socio-cultural community. Means they are developing a relation among themselves along with the others based on these three aspects. Means they doesn't have, means what we can say, they doesn't have an aim like America or China to dominate the world. Their aim was basically cooperation, and cooperation in all the three important fields of life, that is political cooperation, economic cooperation, and socio-cultural cooperation. So these are the three pillars for which ASEAN rested. Clear? And India's engagement with ASEAN started since 1992. One more question. One more question. Why not earlier? Why not pre 1992. Any guess? Yes, everyone. A very common question, very basic question. As we mentioned, India's engagement with Asean started since 1992. Ashwini said because of LPG. Yes. What do you think? Yes, Farooq said we were closed economy. The word is inappropriate, Farooq. Closed economy is totally different concept. But we can say that we are having a red tapeism or some conservative economic trends. Closed kind of economy was totally different thing. Yes, conservative policies we can say. Okay. Nilesh said LPG reforms in 1991. Always remember, when you are going to be a civil servant, you have to think on different dimensions. But right now, what's your problem is you're thinking on only one direction. It should not be the case. You have to consider all other aspects of it. Yes, Farooq, exactly. Exactly. Yes. So think on the different line as well. Yes, I agree with you. That is LPG. India adopted the LPG model. India opened their economy for all. It's okay. What next? What is the another dimensions? Yes, guys and girls, what do you think? Come on, I'm waiting for your answer. You have to find another dimension of it. Yes, any guess? Or shall I explain? Any guess? Or shall I explain? Yes, boys and girls, certain sectors which were meant for PSU were now open for private sector. Yes, I agree, Farooq. The question was over. You all mentioned one dimension. Why India? LPG, it covers all. I agree. I'm asking the another dimension. Yes, Ashwini said, Lucas policy. Of course. After that, means during the time of Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh, we were searching that. That is there. But the most important factor you are missing, that is fall of USSR. Yes, everyone. How can you miss this fall of USSR? Can we say that it is an important factor as like LPG? Yes, everyone. Can we say that fall of USSR is also an important factor? Yes, can we say that? I'm here to explain. Don't worry. I'm here to explain that. Can we say that? Yes, boys and girls. Why fall of USSR is also important because India lost a friend. India lost a friend, and our friendship with USSR is not restricted with the defense. It is having other aspects. Fall of USSR, India lost a friend. Our friendship is with USSR is having multi-dimension, that is political, economic, cultural. USSR was a market for us, and we lost that. With the end of USSR, we ended this aspect as well. Now Russia is not that much powerful. Just imagine the situation of that time. Russia is not that much powerful. We required a strong friend. Along with that, what we want? We want a market for our goods. We want to develop the economic ties with others, and that's why. Always remember, whenever country decided their policy, it is not sudden policy that okay they decided. They have to discuss or they have to think on the all other aspects, and they decided that now our situation is quite different. Earlier we had a friend, a backup. Now our situation is different. We have to find out a friend so that we will have a cooperation with them in economic field, in strategic field, in other field. Yes, you get it? Yes, do you get it, everyone? Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Aspects are clear or any confusion? Good. Next thing. Now we are discussing one by one. Farooq, I don't know the coincidences or what, but I know one thing, and that is if you're not going to change with the time, then time is going to end you. BOP crisis, USSR disintegration, fall of Berlin Wall earlier. So that's why, Farooq, please attend World History lecture. Fall of Berlin Wall in 1989, and we already discussed things in detail in the Cold War Part 2. Yes, now you get it. If you're not going to change, then time is going to change you or end you. And it happened with all. USSR didn't change, fall of USSR. India didn't change. So that's why it was a forcible thing for India to do so. Yes, it was required that India should adopt a modern approaches and all, but we didn't. That's why we suffered from the problem. Clear? Now, we are going to discuss India and ASEAN one by one, how our relationship developed with ASEAN. In 1992, India started a sectorial dialogue partner. Hence, India-ASEAN cooperation started as sectorial. In some sectors, India is having dialogue with them as a partner. Clear? Later on, in 1995, ASEAN provided the full dialogue partner. Hence, now India can say anything, not the working of ASEAN. Clear? Means India can be a partner of ASEAN in all the sectors, not restricted to few. So this thing was continuous. Our relationship is building with ASEAN day by day, year by year. Now, what happened in 2002? We are right now a summit level partner. The summit level partners mean every year the ASEAN summit is there. Yes, every year ASEAN summit is there. And on the sidelines of that, India is having summit with ASEAN countries. Means in other words, Indian Prime Minister is having dialogue with 10 leaders of Asia. Clear? So every year India is having summit level, sorry, dialogue with the 10 Asian leaders, 10 Asian leaders. So the relationship first sectorial, then full dialogue partner, and now summit level partner. We got invitation every year, and every year India had a dialogue with them, suggest few changes, yes, and show the cooperative approach for the new development. And recently there is a need, means earlier it was a important aspect for us. Asian is an important market for us, but right now India is also important for them, not from economic point of view, but also not only from economic point of view, but also from other points of view. And the most important threat is of China. How, why, and all we are going to discuss. Don't worry. Clear? Next thing, India signed FTA with ASEAN in 2010 in goods. In 2010, India signed free trade agreement with ASEAN in goods. If I ask you, in terms of economic strength, so whether goods is our strength or services, yes. If I ask you the strength of India in economic field, goods or services? Of course, services is our strength, and we had agreement with ASEAN in goods. So what is the implication of it? Yes, exactly, exactly. You are smart enough. Service sector is most performing sector in India. Yes, in our GDP, their contribution is more than 50%. And you know what? Recently, due to this pandemic and the lockdown, the most affected sector is the service sector. Clear? Yes. So when we sign a FTA in goods, so this FTA or this trade is in favor of Asia, and India is suffering. When trade surplus with ASEAN, and India is facing trade deficit, and year by year this deficit increase. So year by year trade deficit increase. So now India is insisting, ASEAN to have a FTA in service sector so that they can mitigate this deficit. And now the dialogue between ASEAN and India is going on over the issue of FTA in service sector. Clear? So this is our strength and we are not utilizing it. Yes, everyone? The next important thing, this is the Delhi dialogue. Delhi dialogue. This is annual, every year annual track 1.5 event for discussing the political security and economic issue between India and Asia. Delhi Dialogue. This is an Indian initiative with Asean. This is the yearly 1.5 track event for discussing India's political security and economic issue. One more question, and this should becomes in your mind. What is track 1.5? Yes, as a student, when I was a student and I am a student right now as well, and human or a particular person should be student throughout his or her life. I am the student. And I'm having the same question. What is track 1.5? Yes, any guess? What is track 1.5? Yes, everyone. Any guess? What is track 1.5? And yes, everyone, there is no need to search it on Google and all. I'm there. Farooq, it's okay. There are many things which we don't know. What's the big deal in that? This is the first time you don't know. But when I am going to explain, next time, whenever anybody is going to ask, you're going to answer. That's it. I ask you the question and you're asking me the repeat question. Ashwini, how? What exactly it is? You're asking me a question. Tell. Yes, do you have any idea? Anybody? Or shall I explain? Yes, everyone. Do you have any idea or shall I explain? Any guess or shall I explain? Please let me know. Okay. So first, I just want to tell you the basic things and then we are going to come back to this point. Diplomacy. Yes, Ashwini, you mentioned there is no point in shooting in dark. Oh my god, this person is using bureaucratic language. Look at this person. Oh, a bureaucracy. Hmm. In diplomacy, there are several means of communication. So tracks. What is track? Tracks is basically different means of communication. Clear? Tracks is basically different means of communication. So generally we know only one track, that is government to government. Government to government. Maybe prime minister to prime minister or bureaucrat to bureaucrat. Now you get it. Executive to executive. So government to government. This is the one track of diplomacy we know. But do you really think so that diplomacy is always works with government to government dialogue? Do you really think so that all the problems are having solution with first track, and this is known as, yes, whatever we mentioned, this is a track 1 diplomacy. Government to government dialogue is known as track 1 diplomacy. Do you really think so? All the problems are going to solve through track 1 diplomacy? Because there are some issues where government is not going to show their position in front of the world. Let's take example. I just want to give you the example. Let's take example of India and Pakistan. We are enemy country, of course, because we wage a war and all, and everything is there. We know that. But do you really think so? All Indians are against all Pakistanis, or all Pakistanis are against Indians? Means every Indian is standing and every Pakistani is standing with the gun to kill each other. Is that the case? Is that the case? No. There are some issues where India and Pakistan is having firm stand. For example, which one? Of course, India and Pakistan is having rigid stand over the Kashmir issue. Clear? So they are not going to change their stand at international level. They are stick to it. But don't you think so? Because of their rigid approach, trade in the Kashmir region is suffering. People in the Kashmir region are suffering. Yes, everyone. Because of this rigid stand of India and Pakistan, trade is suffering. Mhm. Yes, it is suffering because now we are having a border, and we mentioned that Pakistan occupied Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir, but earlier they were the part of the same territory. And exchange of goods, services, everything is there. But these two countries are not going to change their stand at international level. Then how it is possible? Because countries cannot afford the trade suffering. Countries want to promote the trade. Why? Because it is going to earn money, and money is most important to run the government. So there is another track, and this track is basically non-government track. Maybe there are many possibilities. Maybe institution is going to take part, or intellectual, or maybe the experts are going to take part. And this non-government track is known as track 1.5, or so much hotspot is there. This is known as track 1.5, and in this is also known as track 2, diplomacy. Clear? I just mentioned two only. There are many channels, and I'm going to explain the tracks of diplomacy in our lectures only. Yes, so do not get any tension that is there any other track. Yes, there are many, and I'm going to explain it for you. So track 1 diplomacy, it is between government to government, and track 2 diplomacy or track 1.5, the name of the same thing. Track 2 diplomacy or track 1.5, it is a non-governmental initiative. And if the non-governmental initiative is there, then whatever the rigid stance of the states, they are not going to take with them. They are open for discussion, because if you are not having openness, if you are having prejudice, then you are not going to get the output. If you really want to find the output from the dialogue and discussion, then openness should be there, acceptance should be there, and government is having limitation in that. So that's why this track is always important, and Delhi dialogue is one of that aspect. It is a track annual meeting of non-government. Maybe the NGO is there, maybe the experts are there, non-government. They doesn't have any connection with the government. They are intellectual or economic expert. This is event for discussing the political security and economic issue between India and Asia. Is that clear to you? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Point is clear. Next. Completely clear. Whitewash. It should not be the whitewash. Completely clear. I agree with you. Yes, Farooq. What's your doubt? Yes, Farooq. You can ask me, and I'm going to discuss the recent developments between India and ASEAN. And that ASEAN India Connectivity Summit. This recent development, how India is developing their relationship with the ASEAN. What Farooq said, India and ASEAN are not enemy nation. Why do we need 1.5 diplomacy? It is not the case that there should be enmity between you. Don't you think so? Divergent economic interest is also there. Yes, Farooq, don't you think so? The divergent economic interest is also there between India and ASEAN, and these divergent economic interests may lead to conflict. On this side, India is having opinion. On this side, ASEAN is having opinion. So please remember, it is not related with the enmity only. There are several issues. Maybe the economic issue, or if the country like USA and India, or USA or India and what can we, do you know the name of any dictator country? Don't tell me. I'm not asking about any country. I'm asking about other. Do you know the name of any dictator country? Yes, of course, Farooq. You mentioned this is economic interest, that RCEP. We are going to discuss. That's why I didn't mention. For example, India is not having cordial relation with the Idi Amin when dictator was there. That's why we didn't mention. Exactly, North Korea. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly, exactly. So we do not have a cordial relation with them. We are having different stand. They are having different stand. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Okay, so that point is clear to you. Means this is not just related with the divergent economic interest. This is related with the political interest, ideology, or anything. So there is a need of that. Now the recent development is that India ASEAN Connectivity Summit, that is ASEAN India Connectivity Summit was there. So which connectivity we are talking about? We are talking about digital connectivity. Means we are not talking about road connectivity and all. We are talking about digital connectivity. So India and ASEAN Connectivity Summit was there in 2017 at Delhi, and we prepared a master plan on connectivity. Means this is the name of that plan. ASEAN's Master Plan on Connectivity 2025. This is a vision, that 2025 is a vision, and there is a master plan for ASEAN's connectivity. So in that, how many areas we are going to cover? The 5 areas, that is sustainable infrastructure, digital innovation, seamless logistics, regulatory excellence, and people's mobility. Yes, everyone. So these are the 5 areas where India and ASEAN agreed, and they are having this master plan that by 2025 these 5 areas are we going to cover: sustainable infrastructure, digital innovation, seamless logistics, regulatory excellence, and people's mobility. And from Indian point of view, this point is very important. This is our strength, that is service sector, software engineering. Yes, digital innovation. This is also important for us. Clear? So these 5 areas over which India and ASEAN agreed and have a vision. Next thing, in recent times, in 2018, recent means last to last year, means when there was no corona. In 2018, India hosted a commemorative summit. To commemorate what? To commemorate 25-year anniversary of India-ASEAN dialogue and the release of Delhi Declaration. Yes, India hosted ASEAN ASEAN India Commemorative Summit to mark the 25th anniversary of India-ASEAN dialogue. So who were the members participated in that? All the Asian countries' leaders are participated in that, and we discussed on various issues with them. And why it is there? To strengthen our relationship with Asian countries. Clear? Along with that, in 2017, when there was the Asian Summit, the Asian Summit, annual Asian Summit was there, Indian Prime Minister has also participated on India-ASEAN Summit, which is going on the sidelines of Asian Summit. So this is the positive response from Indian side. Every year, Indian Prime Minister is going to place a visit, and we had a dialogue with them. So these are the recent developments I'm talking about. Next thing, that is India set up the project fund. India set up the project development fund of $77 million for developing manufacturing hubs. Yes, this is important. For developing manufacturing hubs in CLMV countries. Hence, this is an Indian initiative for CLMV countries. And why we want that? We want to develop a manufacturing hub in this area. First of all, what is CLMV? What is CLMV? Yes, everyone. What is CLMV? What do you think? Farooq, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam. Exactly. This is the abbreviation of initials of the countries. Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and Myanmar. Yes, yes, exactly. So why India is interested in that? Because India want to develop infrastructure in that area to promote the trading activity or the economic activity in northeastern states. Along with that, we want to develop the road connectivity with them. Yes, so that's why India is so much interested in that particular area. Clear? And along with that, this is proposed. India proposed $1 billion line of credit to promote the projects with Asia. So this is the initiative, that is India is also investing in this region. Of course, vested interest is always there, that we want to promote our economy. We want to maintain their relationship with Asia. That is the one aspect. Clear? But the noble aspect is also there, that India want to help them to develop along with us. Clear, everyone? So India is proposed $1 billion line of credit to promote the projects with Asia. So these are the recent developments between India and ASEAN. But, and one more development was going on, as I mentioned, was because that ended, and that was related to RCEP. Yes, that is related with RCEP. What is RCEP? Yes. What is the present status? Yes. Then China factor. All we are going to discuss in the next session. Yes. All we are going to discuss in the next session. What is RCEP? What is this present status and all. Yes. Do you have any confusion, any doubt, any question? Everyone? Yes, everyone. Do you have any doubt, any question? Yes, everyone. Do you have any question, any query? Okay. I hope you don't have any question, any query. So that's all for, yes, Farooq, we are going to discuss in next section. Don't worry. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time and patience. And those who want to connect with me, you can connect with me. This is my Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshv10. And those who haven't subscribed to Unacademy, please subscribe, share, and use my code. You will get discount. Along with that, one more important thing, it is a request. If you really like this video, then you can like, share, and please tell your friends to watch it. Along with that, if you really like it, if the word is if you really like it, then you can dedicate your hats to me, and you can follow me on my on Unacademy channels app. Yes, so that's all for today's lecture. See you, and yes, today in the evening, in the late evening at 10 o'clock, we are having world history session where we are going to discuss impact of decolonization and new colonization, their impact and all. Yes, so that's all for now. Take care.